such an asshole.
Just so you guys know, Cappy is going to be shutting down Asshole Consulting for about a month or so until I finish the book. And it's not even because I was able to work on the book and do Asshole, but there's just too many frustrations. We got a lot of stupidity, record amounts of stupidity. And yeah, according to anger management, you walk away from situations that will make you angry. Hey, asshole, make me a video. I'm going to assume the going rate of 45 so I can send it over to keep things moving. You assumed wrong, and I charge you extra. It's so simple. It's so simple. Follow my instructions. And you're the least offender of this. I got some people. Where's my video? Did you tell me you paid so I can verify? No. I was at an estate sale this morning where I bought some welding gloves, still in the package, and a pry bar for $15. As I was leaving, one of the old guys that was there made a comment to the tune of, "You don't want people to know you know how to use those," referring to the tools I was buying. This brought to mind the plight of my friends over the last couple of years. The onset of the pandemic and the decline of blue states pushed a lot of refugees into my little town in Montana. They were buying houses for cash, sight unseen. This created a boom in demand for handymen, home builders, and remodelers. The plight of my friends who are well-established remodelers and handymen, I'm going to also assume of the sober variety, was the endless, God, fuck, Happy speak, the endless beratement from all the new people in town. They wanted service now and were very angry when the few contractors and handymen here were too busy to call them back. So from with the handyman of that town. At the time, I was working a job in the trades. I caught all kinds of shit at the hardware store as well, getting called lazy pieces of shit for not calling them back, etc. Yeah, but okay, are you here we have to, and this is the point of this video. We have to delineate and differentiate between you and the three other guys who aren't fucking their sisters, doing Adderall or Ritalin and being drunk versus literally every other contractor in Montana or these here United States of the fruited plains. And I know it's still insulting to you if they just take revenge on you by proxy because you look like a tradesman and you are one. But you have to understand your reputation, like as a group, is absolute shit. In the book I'm writing now, I'm conflicted because without the trades, no country at all. The world ends without tradesmen. But in the United States, the tradesmen are just shit. You drunk and not punctual. Those are the two main ones. I of course joking about having sex with your sister, except for Wyoming. That and it's actually very similar to the world needs tradesmen more than the tradesmen need the world. That's true. And it's kind of like men need women more than women need men. But it's getting to the point now that the tradesmen are so pointless and do the job so poorly and not on time and at an exponential cost because you know how it works. One guy don't show up. Now that kicks the construction schedule down and all that. That people are like, I'll do it myself. Like, no, I don't need your kind here. You get out. I won't. I mean, legit, unless it's like real electrical work or plumbing. And even then, I'm like, well, by the time, and I have thankfully a good electrician and a good plumber now. But pretty much anything I'm like, no, I'll just do it myself, even bordering on mechanical work. Because by the time I'm done dicking around, and that's starting to happen. Just like guys like, yeah, I don't, and not that they're gonna do them themselves, although men are doing themselves. That's true. But guys like, no. Your whatever value you might have brought to the table is uh, overshadowed or outcosted by the cost and the shoddy work, and the fact by the time you get here and I'll just do it myself. When it comes to dating gals, and so I don't. We're in that. In other words, where the pendulum has reached here, and now it's going to come back. not enforced, but be like, why I got YouTube. I could see now that's not Californians. I could see that they don't work for a living. They don't know what they're doing. But I could see their frustrations. And you're a good tradesman. Your handful of buddies are good tradesmen. And in this environment, you charge a lot more. Absolutely. But you do understand that Jessup and Jebediah and, what's another hick name? Bubba. You do know they ruined your reputation, and which is I don't it's so simple. On time, on budgetplumbing.com. I'm not gonna run this company. Somebody in me not you just have to be on time, do the job right, be sober, and do it on budget. That's it. And you can make 6 figures. But man, there's something about tradesmen. You guys are just not smart. You're highly skilled, but you are dumber than shit. Really dumber than shit. And what don't you get? On time, do the job right, and do it on budget. I love the attitude these guys got. Now that's every alcoholic. That's every loser. I don't got time to finish your roof. Who the F you think you are? Bubba Bo Bob the Third, proud son in the lineage of Bubba Bo Bobs. All kinds of shit at the hardware store as well, getting called lazy pieces of shit. Well, your group is. You're like the hot chick who stays in shape and doesn't have tattoos, and you're shocked that the world's calling you insufferable bitches. Yeah, your group is a bunch of lazy pieces of shit for not calling them back, etc. According to them, if we were good contractors, we'd call them back right away and be at their house the very next day to start work. All right, well, that's where they got to understand that there's a shortage of you guys. I was working on a project at a place, installing stuff and building a thing. I couldn't have cared less about Tina and Timmy's crumbling foundation at the Montana dream home they purchased sight unseen. Right. How were they just grabbing you to yell at you? That's where I'm confused. They didn't even know you're not even a concrete guy. How did they assume you were to blame for their concrete? For my friends, they work when they want to. They have a solid reputation in the area and are selective on the projects they take on. Good for them. They turn in quality work when they're done and do the work at a reasonable price. Again, this is the hot girl who doesn't have another man's kids or 3 other man's kids, somehow being offended that people are sick and tired of the fat, ugly women at Walmart. You're not part of this group. They live a pretty minimalistic lifestyle, so they don't need to work a lot to cover their expenses. I say all this to present an idea to a younger man. Are you Gen Z boys? Okay, Gen Z boys, take your thumb out of your mouth. Now listen up. I know, set the Adderall down. Here we go. Working the building trades is an awesome opportunity to live a very enjoyable life. You don't need to piss away money on a college education. If you want to go out on your own, it's pretty easy and straightforward once you learn some skills. You could throttle your income to match the lifestyle you want to live and easily find work anywhere you'd like. If you have dreams of management and building bigger, interesting things, you can do that too. It's not hard to move over to the office after establishing yourself as a tradesman. You'll be exponentially more valuable since you have hands-on knowledge instead of whatever you get at college. Right. If you picked up a couple of accounting courses or construction management, like an associate, you don't need more than that. This assumes you're working for someone else. Maybe you could explain, I've never understood tradesmen and most do become independent contractors, but once you get your license, and a little bit of accounting, why are you I gotta God, those and maybe it is an issue of IQ. Maybe we gotta do an IQ study. How dumb is the tradesman who bitches and whines about his boss paying him only $20 an hour when he could just go start his own thing and bill out at 70? Or is he too lazy to go set up an LLC? Like, that's how lazy the guy there's got to be 2 groups. The ones that are too drunk, stupid, and lazy to go set up an LLC and, do basic record keeping, who could, the very next day charge $75 an hour, but don't. And then there's the ones that, like, know how to run a shop or just not even a shop, not even have employees, just do the work themselves. When I decided to get into construction, my mom laughed at me and asked if we had run out of Mexicans. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Yes, Mexicans, Latinos, immigrants in general are cheaper labor, but so far, and I know a fair amount of tradesmen, they prefer to hire Latinos because the domestic guys are drunks and you're dumb and you're on drugs. And you don't do the job right and you don't show up. Have you ever seen a Mexican working crew? Again, the joke. How long does it take a bunch of Mexicans to finish a roof? Holy crap, they're done already? That's the joke. But a buddy of mine, they were not Mexican, Central Americans, different group. She's been at the same house for, gosh, 20 years, and she's had the same uh, landscaping, lawn maintenance people come in. I saw them come in. They were like the A team, except there's a bunch of Latinos. They showed up on time, and it was a machine. They had a well-oiled machine, and on the truck it said since 1992. And the guy who runs the outfit, he's selective and he pays them a good wage. They show up like the SWAT team, and they try to get neighbors next to each other. So instead of doing one house and then going to the next house, they could do 3 yards in a row, and they do the trimming and they trim the trees and they patched up the dirt. And I'm like, I'm pretty particular about the quality of work I do. I'm like, these guys are pros. And boom, gone like Batman. And you're like, look at this place. Look at this. Now you come out to South Dakota. Hey, can you pull your dick out of your sister's mouth for 1 minute? And there's a hole in the roof. Like, you literally, I'm not kidding. There was like this. They just didn't put shingles up at this one spot of the roof. Didn't put a cap on the exhaust rinking. I'm like, look, I know you're all Republicans and carrying your gun. Get the immigrants out of here. I just have a question though. Exactly what are you doing for America with work that I can do myself? Like, what? You're literally stealing money from me. And whereas I may have reservations against illegal immigrants, I know Jose, even if he's illegal, will put shingles on my roof and not leave a spot. um Asked if we had ran out of Mexicans. Regardless of what my family thought, I moved on and got a job working at a place. After some time working as a laborer on a maintenance crew, a master carpenter turned me on to a unique college program that was affordable and landed me a pretty amazing career path. I spent 11 years traveling North America, building, maintain uh, the power plants of all varieties. I got the opportunity to move to Montana and worked on the current project I'm working on now, which is rewarding and paid well. I'm now working remotely for a global entity doing a thing. So you kind of made the jump to white collar. I will say this, and it might be worth noting, I went the college route and mostly worked in engineering and management roles, except for a few lazy laborers here and there. I was always cutting checks to the tradesmen that were much more than mine. Right. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to get your dick out of your sister. Okay, tradesmen, all American tradesmen, get your dick out of your sister. I don't care which hole it's in right now. Okay, just pull it out now. Listen to me, okay? Whether you're the actual tradesman who just does the work in your one-man show and you bill out at $100 an hour, or whether it's your boss who is getting the check that he's billing you out at $100 an hour, giving you 20. Did you notice that at about $100 an hour, you could make a pretty good living? Yeah, I don't know what you're getting paid to have sex with your sister, but just seems to me maybe if you showed up on time and engaged, it's like they're so close. They're so close. They got the skill. They did the hard part. They just got to set down the booze and show up on time and do the job right. It is. I was talking to someone like, they're just a bunch of middle schoolers. He's like, you're right. They are. It doesn't matter if they're 50 or 25. They are all just a bunch of middle schoolers and just lazy ass corner cutting crap that costs them so much more in the real world. And they don't see how just simply showing up on time, doing the job, taking the extra time to do, to do that extra 5% and be on time and be sober and do the job right, they could go and their money problems would go away. But I look at them, I mean, you can see it. You could not just South Dakota, but anywhere, but you could see you're like, there's your crappy truck with your magnet decal. Oh, you think you're special and official now. Bobson Master Roofers. It's always Master something, Master something. Like, did you set up an LLC and get insurance? No, you didn't? Oh, interesting. They're so close. And here this guy is trying to tell you. Here he is trying to tell you. In my younger 40s, I make good money remotely with a pretty flexible schedule, going to work that I find interesting under terms that are agreeable to me. The menu is extensive and well funded, so life is good. Ice Cream Girl seems to have drifted off into the ether. Yeah, this is the guy we do the videos of a girl who did a nice thing. If you have a story of a girl who did a nice thing, let us know. He had a nice date with a girl. They went out for ice cream and she seemed nice and now she's gone. Oh, like a tradesman who didn't finish the job? You don't say. She's trying to fat me up for a little bit, make me homemade apple pie, etc. And then she just disappeared, huh? Maybe she's dating Jessup. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. We just, oh, it. Yeah, I'm not advocating this because we'll all land in jail, but it almost like the only way you're gonna. Now this is not part of the topic. You're just gonna have to hunt her down, woman. Get your ass into the. I mean, really, you're gonna have to like. McClintock up, John Wayne up, and grab Marina hair and spank her and bring her into the house. You're going to have to physically almost do this, like with violence. Like you're gonna finish that job or I'm breaking your kneecaps. This negotiating and being nice doesn't seem to work. And I knew that all the time. I never got anywhere being nice. It was only through threats of violence, not like physical violence, but like threats of punishment. Do this or else. I didn't know you was cheese. Chill out, man. I was just trying to screw you over and do pot my entire life. Yeah. Well, you're going to be dragged to court if you don't. God. All right. That's every American. And when inevitably you like, hey, there's consequence if you don't do what you said you're going to do. Jeez. Chill out, man. On the female version, like, what? I'm just sucking my ex-boyfriend's dick. God, you're so controlling. It's creepy. It's a busy time of year for me. Hunting season has started, so I'll be heading up to elk camp soon. You'll appreciate this. To keep my firewood tools organized, I built a box out of scrap wood from another project. I have a chainsaw, fuel, extra fuel bar, mix bar oils, safety stuff, splitting maul, and spare parts, all in one neatly organized box. That's good. That's good. Keeps the garage neatly organized and things ready to go. Where have all the good men gone? So he's not wrong, and we'll say it again. It's so simple. Okay, for Gen Z, okay, maybe Generation Alpha. Just listen to me. You can afford a house. You can. You could actually build your own house in some trades if you choose to. You just have to learn a trade, and you have to be sober and on time. I would also add do the job right and do it well. So you don't have to do it multiple times. Just don't be a middle schooler. Be a responsible adult. See, maybe people don't get to this idea of being responsible. Like when parents give you your elders give you advice, although I can understand why, especially generations today, don't want to listen to older people because they don't know what they're talking about. But in my day, at least some of the advice they gave sounded boring. Like, oh, and maybe we didn't listen to it because we looked at them like, you guys are miserable. You don't know what the hell you're doing, and we're poor. Screw you guys. So maybe that's why we didn't listen to them. But somewhere in there was some bits of advice, but they never told you that what they're trying to do is make it so that your life is the easiest it could possibly be. And we didn't wanna listen to them because we were young and we're stupid, because they had proven that they didn't know what they were talking about in other regards, or it just sounded like more work. But people aren't telling you that to be square, like dieting and health. That's not like to be square or nerdy. To get sleep. That's not like they don't want you to have fun. It's actually they are trying to make so you have the most amount of fun in life. You just have to listen to them. And I'm gonna give up on anyone my anyone like say 20 to boomer. Those tradesmen, they're gone. They're gonna be doing their thing. That most of them have got multiple baby mamas and child support and all that. It's a miserable existence. All right, for those of you who are young, if you could be the smart tradesman, show up on time, show up sober, do the job right, complete the project. And yes, you have to learn and you have to go and get experience so you know what you're doing. But after a couple of years working for someone else, you get the right licensure and insurance, you can go off on your own. And you gotta be able to be at least make 100,000 a year, at least. It's kinda like these girls, like, they're really hot or something, and like, "I only make $180 a month." That's the average on OnlyFans. It's like, yeah, but if you didn't just wear sweats and did your hair, and with this extra bit, I can't find a man. Well, if you let your hair grow out and you didn't dye it blue and you took the ridiculous metal piercings off your face and you lost the weight, you could have any guy you wanted. Like, all right, you know what? Fuck all of you. I guess we're all gonna have sex with our sisters. We're all gonna be drunks. We're gonna all be on drugs and pot. Never mind. Just never mind my advice. You don't need to make $120,000 a year. You really don't. Just you know better. Go live in your trailer park and you girls have fun wearing your sweats, showing your pierced nipples off. I don't know, whatever it is, you know-it-alls and great leaders of society and entrepreneurial hustlers with your made at Amazon magnet decal, but no LLC or insurance. Bobson Master Plumbers. What do I got? Link below is worthless young person's indispensable guide to choosing the right major, which includes going into the trades. That's a good thing. So if you're a young person, you don't know what to do with your life, which you shouldn't because you're young. May I recommend that book? It'll provide you some guidance. Make sure you don't piss away your life too terribly much. There's also a link below called The Dad You Never Had, because your dad the I still don't it's really a tragedy. You get this great skill, but your dad wasn't around to explain to your dumbass why you should show up on time and do the job right. And it is the difference between you living this shitty cousin fucking Wyoming lifestyle in the trailer parks and being the guys that you hate so much because they did the exact same thing you did, but they did it slightly better and on time. Look at him. He's just the big boss man. Like you have the same skill he does. He just showed up on time. Do I dare dream of having like the well, I do know a buddy. He's an HVAC guy and he's Latino. I mean American, but he's Latino. He has white guys working for him. I love it to see today you get an elite. Hear me out. This might actually be happening already. Illegal immigrant comes in from wherever South Latino country. He busts his ass off. He masters it. And he says, hey, did you know if I show up on time, tiempo, and I do the job right, I out compete. And, I'm sick and tired of whatever the cold Americans. I'm going to have my brother Jose run the business for me. And we're going to hire the best people. He's going to run it. And I'm going to go back to Mexico and sit on a beach in Puerto Vallarta, commanding a first world salary while I got a bunch of other people working for me. All because Jose was on time. Okay, here comes the internet. Someone's already watching television. All right, let's go to the super chats. $3. 50 Philippine thing. Oblation. Thank you. Alex Patino, truck driving Latino agent in the field. $5. Come on, Cappy. You're expecting too much from humanity. Humanity is going to end, and Mother Nature, once we're done with technology, once we don't have that, once electricity is gone, Mother Nature is going to rather insist you're all on time and sober. Hatton Clogs 1.04 billion lottery. Happy Cappy, be happy. I'm not playing the lottery. All right, more on the way. Links down below. See you guys later. Toodles.